the YouTube. Say hello to all the YouTubes.
Hello.
No.
And
Change your terms of service and pay your creators more money, YouTube. I mean, hi.
hello, everyone. It's another Stories from the Smoke Room. Hello. Yay.
Yay!
They're the gift. Just keep giving.
Thank you for that, Steph.
You could do them on one hand as well now. Like a little crab.
We're all gonna tell stories tonight. Because that's what we do every other week. Apart from next week, but we'll get to that later. So going first is going to be Steph. Steph, what's your story about?
My story is about how I nearly physically and both of embarrassment died on a cruise. That sentence didn't make sense. Stuff happened. There you go.
Stuff happened.
Stuff happened.
On a ferry.
On a P&O ferry.
Sorry, a cruise
Ferry.
A ferry.
Is a cruise ship just a ferry that
from Hull.
Is a cruise ship just a ferry that got lost?
So it's like a ferry.
Not at all.
Ball pit in it.
A ferry.
It's much bigger.
A ferry with a
and
ball pit.
nice.
I imagine that's what people do on cruises, isn't it? Just jump in the ball pit.
Shuffleboard and ball pits. That's it. That's all that makes a
I'll be honest.
cruise.
I haven't done either of those on any of the cruises I've been on.
And I would also wager nice puddings on a cruise.
I bet you do get nice pudding.
I bet
This is the point where I am
Well, nice
sick of food. By about the middle of the second week, I no longer want to eat because everything's so rich that I start to feel sick anytime someone goes.
I've got
"Should we go for
so
dinner?"
many questions about the logistics of how cruise life. And so when it comes to this, I'm going to be like, enough about that. Is the food free?
Yeah.
I must be like,
Do you have to sit?
Unless you go to specialty restaurants or like the Ben and Jerry's stand.
Well, that's
there's
my
a
hand.
what now?
There's a what now?
Let's not
This changes everything.
shoot our bolt before we get there, folks. Come on.
After
Stop
COVID, let's
waxing
go
on
on a
Zoom,
cruise
Dave.
together.
I think we can all agree that a ferry is a cruise ship for cars. There we go. Going second is
That's
Hannah.
quite poetic.
Hannah, what's
Hello.
It is quite poetic. I should do that as a job. Hello, Hannah. What's your story about?
It is about a time when I made a fool of myself publicly due to drink again.
Again?
Yes.
I mean, let's just look through the Rolodex of Hannah's stories.
But the audience,
It's all of them.
but this was in front of more people than usual.
Did
And not the
you
Pope.
did you urinate on any dangerous animals?
No, there was no urination. There was no bodily fluids. I don't think.
We'll find
I
out.
managed to go away and check.
We'll find
Yeah.
out in about 20 minutes.
Okay.
When Dave says ferry, it takes me a moment to realise he's not saying a slur. No, I'm not, John. Thank you.
It's another word I don't know.
Let's not go
council.
there.
I mean, I don't know that one.
I'm
Let's
guessing
not go
he
there.
thinks
Right.
Let's not go
Yeah,
there.
let's not go there. Terms and conditions on Twitch, folks. Terms and conditions on Twitch. I'm going third with a story about why I don't like Good Morning Vietnam. Adam, you're going fourth. What's your story about?
That was. It's just about my many experiences cycling to work back when I used to work at Flowgas,
Oh.
culminating in my favourite ever memory of the entire place.
We were just before the stream. We were talking about people masturbating on Zoom calls.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Putting my foot down here. Nope.
No, yeah, the tiny hands are not sent to you for that purpose.
I mean, have you seen Deadpool?
Oh,
And closing the evening will be Mikey. Mikey, what's your story about?
My story is about school sports day and table cricket.
Okay.
I'm excited already.
I didn't even know you could have table cricket, but there you go. We'll get there. We'll get there. So, ladies and gentlemen, kicking off with a story about cruise ships for cars. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Steph Loftus.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah. I didn't expect it to answer.
Hi.
Good morning, Mrs.
Loftus.
Loftus. Good morning,
everyone.
friends.
No, and it's Ethan. So I probably about 3 years ago now, I went on a cruise with my parents and my younger brother. We were very excited. It was the second cruise we'd been on. We were on a P&O ship. It was the Britannia ship. It was their maiden voyage. How exciting!
I'm just imagining it being the shape of a piano. Like this for piano. Carry on.
Isn't it dangerous going on a ferry's maiden voyage? Like, isn't that
Well,
like
it
going
might
on?
be-
I mean, can we stop calling it a ferry? Because I felt ultra posh on this holiday.
It might be,
Ruining it.
Dave, but at least the toilets are clean.
They are clean.
At least the
Yeah.
toilets
I mean,
are
I
clean.
can't.
Did you do that?
I
Did
can't
you like?
think of any examples.
No one's
I can't think of any
christened them.
examples.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
No.
Did you?
I can't think of any examples where a maiden voyage went wrong.
No, there aren't any famous
No examples
examples.
of that.
Did you?
Well,
Did
we
you
can
go
add
for
another
a?
one to the list?
Did you go for a Mr. Magoo and go? I'm the first one to use this toilet.
I mean, probably not, because although it was its maiden voyage, they do have like mini ones where they go and they take it out for like a test run, and they have like a press one.
Yeah, it's not the
So
first
although it's
time.
classed as its
It's
maiden
been at
voyage,
sea.
it's probably about the 20th trip out. Yeah. So like,
Are we talking about your
we
Mr.
arrived-
Magoo?
They got
or
me
the-
sure it's not going to sink.
No, there is not a press event for when I go to the toilet.
But there should be.
So anyway,
But as a
Um,
marketing and PR man, I can make it so. Make it so.
so quiet class.
So,
We we arrived on the day. We arrived in Southampton, and we got out of the car, and everyone takes your luggage, and it's really exciting. And then you check in, you get your boarding pass. There's always a problem with my boarding pass because my name's too long and it doesn't fit on, and then they think I'm not the same person as who's booked it. So there has to be a massive call to either like P&O or like Royal Caribbean to go, no, she just got a really long, stupid name. Don't blame her, blame her parents. And so, yeah. So that was like already, like, we're only 10 minutes in and there's already a drama. So, yeah. So we went in. I got very overexcited because in like the foyer reception area, there was a big chandelier that made it look like the TARDIS. I was like, oh, it's going to be a good day. So, yeah. So
when was this, Steph? How old were you?
I was about 27,
Nice,
maybe
okay.
26.
I'm just picturing it in my mind. Okay, yeah.
You know what? It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
So we arrived. So my mum and dad had got a cabin. Me and my brother had got a cabin, and we went and had a look just to like throw our bags in. Like, I like to clean my teeth, like have a bit of a wash. And we went in, and there was this real grating noise in the room. Like, I can't, like, it was like a proper and I was like, that's annoying. Like, I'm not gonna be able to sleep through that. But I'm rather excited to explore the ship. So if it's still happening at 10 o'clock tonight when we go to bed, I might mention it. Like, free upgrade. So we went out. We had and before we set sail, you have to, because it's maritime law, have to have a fire drill. So you have to go and familiarise yourself with your muster station, which is basically like school. When the fire drill goes off, you have to go and stand in a particular place and have the register taken. If you're not there, you get fined. Yes.
You're on
I love the
water.
fact that we've now started to. Yes, I'm aware.
It can still set on fire, Dave.
Like, it's a big ship. If
Got
it
the
sets on
engine.
fire, it's going set from the top down.
Got boiler rooms
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah, and if it burns a hole in it, I'm a good swimmer, but I'm not good enough to swim across the channel.
You
That
should
is
have had more practice.
famously
Yeah,
quite a
definitely.
task.
it is apparently longer than a couple of lengths of a swimming pool.
Takes a bit of
Like,
effort, I've heard.
I'll have just had dinner. I don't know the time span. I'm gonna get cramp and drown. Like that's how it works. So yeah. So we had to have our guy and Mike.
He's been familiar with your muster station. She's having connectivity issues from the week.
Do a muster station.
Oh, Michael.
The thing was, Mike, as you said it, you were so fucking pleased with yourself.
You were so proud of yourself. Like, but so when you do this muster drill, you have to arrive. They take your name and your cabin number to prove that like you've turned up. Because, like I said, if you don't, you can get like fined for not following the rules. They take this seriously.
This doesn't sound like a holiday.
No, I know. For like the first like couple of hours until you set sail, they're on you, and then after that they're like, whatever, do what you want, go and see. Like, and so it's really great.
International law.
While you're doing this drill, you also have to practice putting your life jacket on. Now, when you put your life jacket on, to keep it secure, there is a little like snappy closed. I'm trying to think of the claspy thing. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Well, you put one around your waist, and then you strap one between your legs, and then it kind of goes in underneath like your bust. It's basically when you jump in the water, so it doesn't shoot off.
Yeah, so it doesn't.
One of them. One of them.
One of those, yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for the demonstration, Dave. Well, my
Dave just went full on air hostess. Like,
Yeah.
And
I'll
buckle.
put a point on
Buckle
your
tighten.
Yes. So we were all practicing, and so me and my brother had done ours, Mum had done hers, and this is the first time where I nearly died of embarrassment because my dad, at the top of his voice, went, "Can you just get that thing between my legs, Seth?" And I went, I'm sorry, what? As my dad, he stood there like gyrating forward, trying to make this thing between his legs to catch it, because obviously everyone's crammed in one space. You can't really bend down and sort it out. At the top of his voice,
Clip that, John.
Went, "Can you just grab this thing between my legs, Staff?" And I went, "No, Dad. No, I won't." Ask your wife to do it, not your daughter.
We're not in international waters yet, Dad.
We're not on that sort of holiday, Dad. So we had the muster drill. We set sail.
Well done.
Whew. Thanks. You can tell I'm running on Lucas' aid. It's just like we had our first meal of the night, and then we went down to the bar to just have a few drinks and watch. There was some entertainment on as well. There was a girl and a guy doing some songs. So it got to about, I want to say about 11:30, 12:15. And so we'd been drinking most of the day. We weren't drunk, we weren't unruly, we were just having fun. And the guy and the girl are playing, they were quite good. And then all of a sudden, over the tannoy, we get an announcement, crew to muster stations, this is not a drill. And the bar shut down, the entertainment stopped, all of the staff disappeared, and all of the staff came back wearing their life jackets. And we were all like, "Excuse me? Hello? What's going on?" And they're like, "No, just sit where you are. Yeah, sit where you are, don't worry about it, it's fine."
Don't worry about it.
We're
fine.
Something's going on.
We're all right. You lot.
Yeah, we're not going to die.
I've got visions.
So, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. But have you seen the film The Poseidon Adventure?
I've got a vision of your dad.
No,
I've got a vision of your dad jumping up and going, "Right, who wants to go between me legs?"
Save me! I have a statue of me! Save me!
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. I know the Tenerifean mafia.
So the captain came over the tannoy system and was like, ladies and gentlemen, I've asked the crew to stand by their muster stations. There is no need for passengers to act. Like, everything's okay. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. And
Passengers are expendable.
Yes.
What does that mean? I'm so
we
stressed.
don't want to go
I'm
through
really
the
afraid of
interview process again. Like, yeah. So about 15 minutes later, we're all still sat in this bar. Crew are all still stood by their muster stations. There is one crew member very nervously standing by a phone, and every time he moves slightly to the away from the phone, another crew member who's wearing a hat, so he's more important, yells, "Get on the phone!" And so, like, I was going, I'm really worried. My mum was going, I need the toilet, but what happens if I move and then things kick off? What am I going to do? And we're like, right, you go, we'll stay here. Worst case scenario, we'll meet you at the muster station. And she was like, okay. Bearing in mind, my mum hates water. So being on a cruise for 2 weeks.
Her kind of holiday.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's like me going on holiday to an island of sharp knives and glass.
Yes. Well, my mum doesn't like water. My dad doesn't like flying. So they compromise and go on a cruise. So
Just
That
no
doesn't-
camping.
from the water.
That doesn't sound like a compromise. That sounds like your mum's got a
yeah.
shit end of the deal.
like,
Yeah, I
it's
feel
cool.
like
So,
I feel
it's
like
okay.
your
We
mum's
put my dad on a
outgrowth
plane and
is
took him to
someone-
Dublin for his 60th. We got our own back. So every 15 minutes, the captain keeps coming on, going, "There's no need for passengers to act at this time. It's fine. Crew are staying where they are. There's no need to be returning to your rooms. It's okay." Da, 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 da. So and by which point everyone's going, I think we should return to our rooms because that's where our life jackets are. So people have started to slowly disperse. We're still sat there because
Is your mum
They'll open the bar in a minute.
Mum's gone and come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You're all
that's
sat
thought.
there.
When they open the bar, we're first in line. So
You're all sat there going, "Oh, it's cracking entertainment. This isn't."
so
an immersive experience?
honestly. So at this point, a woman, like, there's us at one table, there's a younger couple at another table, and there's an elderly couple at a different table. The woman from the elderly couple has started to kick off because she wants to know what's going on. She wants to know why she can't get served alcohol. She wants to know why staff are all in their life jackets and she hasn't got one. And obviously the crew are stum. Like, they're not saying anything, just like, "Madam, if you'd like to return to your seat, it's all going to be okay." But they're all visibly panicking. So, obviously,
It's
not going to be okay.
It's the one group of people that I wouldn't fuck with because, like, the officers on a ship have rule of law.
Mhm.
Like
And there is a
captain on
jail on every cruise ship.
Yeah, and also interesting, a morgue.
What?
Yes,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
is.
Yeah, because you got
If you're 1 week into a 2-week cruise and someone is on a rampage, you the captain has legal authority over the whole ship and can lock them up.
Wow.
They can act as judge on that ship.
My parents
Whoa.
went away on a cruise on World Cup year, and people kicked off during the football so much they locked a couple of them up in the jails.
Can we?
Down in the
Can we get captain on a podcast? Please?
Oh my god, that would be
Take a deep dive into this because
especially this captain, because he was hilarious. So every 15 minutes he's been coming on going, "It's cool, don't worry, woohoo, everything's fine." But
Please
he's
tell me those are his exact words.
every time he comes on, he sounds a little bit more stressed. So it got to this had started about 11:30, 1:15. We'd now been a good hour into this, and we're still sat there. And then eventually, the dear captain goes, "Crew stand down, crew stand down," and all the crew start doing clapping, and so everyone around is going,
Well done.
The
"What?
plane's landed.
What's happening?" So the crew start to take off their light jackets. They all start to disperse and start to come back, opening up the bars. The captain comes on and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to tell you that the situation has been dealt with." And we're all going, "He definitely said the word fire. He said the word fire. He definitely said the word fire." Now, what actually happened was, and I felt a bit guilty about it afterwards. We were talking to a couple the next day who said that because they'd had a long drive, they'd come all the way from Scotland and they'd driven all the way to Southampton, they decided to get room service and go back to their room. They were a few decks below us and had turned the aircon on because the room was quite stuffy and realised that smoke was coming through their air conditioning. They'd call maintenance, who went, "That's impossible. Smoke doesn't come through your air conditioning. You've got it wrong. But we'll come and check anyway." They'd gone in and gone, "Oh no, that is smoke. We're going to send someone down to have a look at the air conditioning." It wasn't the air conditioning. 2 of the 4 engines were on fire and we were in the middle of the sea. Yeah. So we were about 4 or 5 hours late into Vigo the next day because obviously we had to go down to half speed and all of this had kicked off. So we obviously didn't know this until the next day. All we knew was there had been a fire. Now, the band, bless their hearts, came on, and by this point, a few people had started to filter back into the bar. Now they knew they weren't going to die.
Did they do loads of fire songs? Did they start off with Smoke on the Water? Tell me they did Smoke on the Water.
No. The poor dears. This boy and girl, who were probably in their very early 20s, were the guy was on a guitar, but they got music plugged up to an iPad. And so obviously their set list was like pre-programmed. They spent the next 10 minutes going, "Can't do that one. Oh, can't do that one. Can't do that one. Oh, Christ, can't do that one." So, of course, me and my dad started getting really stupid and started shouting requests.
Oh
such
my
as
God.
Great Balls of Fire and Under the Sea. And, yeah. like honestly, I was crazy.
Did you ask for a big band cover of Prodigy's Firestarter?
Oh, what would that even sound like?
And when this band has restarted up, the old couple, which she was still kicking off, "I've been sat here for an hour, and I heard the words from the barman as she was mid-flowing, screaming at these people. Would Madam like a free bottle of champagne?" And she went, "Oh yeah, please." She was suddenly very okay.
He's done that before. He knows how this shit works.
Yeah.
A friend of mine works on the Disney cruise ships. And so she works almost. She's like entertainment. She works with it's a shit job. She works almost like in time with the kids, but then like occasionally you get some like parents who are like American, so pricks and angry, and she goes, "Would you just want a free ham?" They're normally like, "Yeah, that'll do," because little Timmy's and the ham will placate all.
I would like to say that's where the story ends. Because I want to finish with. So I had died of embarrassment, nearly died.
Actually died.
And I'd like to finish with another died of embarrassment. So we had our first formal night. So formal nights, obviously, men are black tie or like bow tie. Women are normally expected to wear a formal dress, but obviously some women decide not to because you can't tell me what to wear.
20 bitches, yeah.
Or a formal dress. Because I don't like to stand out. I loved this dress. It was really pretty. So we went down to the meal one night. However, I was wearing braces at the time. Obviously, you can't tell from my crooked ass teeth still, but I was wearing braces.
Oh, I thought you meant over the.
No,
yeah.
Like the braces on my teeth.
Tell me.
I'd look amazing with a dress and braces. Yeah.
Was this ship called the Aurora?
No, it was called Britannia.
Oh, okay. Because apparently P&O has lots of fires then.
Yes. So I didn't know about this till after we came back off holiday.
Well, there's the sponsorship deal gone.
So we were sat there. I was having a meal. It was all very nice. My dad always makes the joke about, "Oh God, I'm wearing a white shirt. Don't order anything with a sauce."
Yeah,
and
that's
so,
me though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's me most days of the week, whether I'm on a cruise ship or not.
So
just the driest thing on the menu.
Yeah.
finger food. Have you got a buffet?
Ritz crackers, please. Thank you.
Yeah, so we were eating this meal. On my plate were green beans. Now, I really like them. That's not a problem. I was nomming on these green beans and all of a sudden felt something quite peculiar going on in my mouth. And so I was kind of sat like this. And my mum was like, are you okay? And I was like, I think I've got a green bean stuck in my braces. Like, can you check for me if I just lift my hand up really quickly?
Oh my
She was
God.
like, yeah, of course. So I literally just went and put my hand back down. Well, I felt it as I moved moved my hand and did that. This green bean went ta-ting out of my, like, it was sticking like a radio antenna was sticking out of
my God, like a lance.
My brother was crying with laughter. And my dad is going, just get your fork and fish it out. I was like, Dad, we're in a restaurant. So my mum went,
Posh dress, Dad.
Rices? No. My mum was like, there's a glass of water in front of you. Just take a drink, swill your mouth, it'll loosen the green bean. Oh, it didn't. If anything, it just made the situation worse because, yes, the green bean came out of my braces, and then as the water subsided, it rested ever so neatly across the top of the bar. And I was going, it's really stuck now. Oh my God, it's really stuck now. My brother is laughing so loud that people are starting to turn around. And so eventually I had to get my napkin and do like a Houdini over my head, get it out and put it down. And I was like, so yeah, so for the rest of the cruise, I did not order anything with green beans. But yeah, that was my died of embarrassment, nearly died of embarrassment cruise skip story.
God. Oh my God, I feel it right here in my heart.
I would love it so much if that was Houdini's actual like show. It was just he puts a blanket over himself, comes back, and the handcuffs are gone. Oh, they're in my braces.
Wow.
I'd be like, oh no, I dropped my fork under this table.
Fine.
Oh my God.
Was there? Did the green bean come out in one, or was the like?
No, it came out in one. Thankfully, I managed to hook it with like my. I've got quite long nails at the time. I managed to just hook it and get it out. But yeah, like it was.
If you'd have pulled it out, and then it would have like gone into like 4 in different directions, like, that would have been beautiful. That would be beautiful.
Adam, that would have been like, you know, when on Art Attack, when they like unveil it at the end.
This is Art Attack.
And it's this wonderful piece of artwork. That's what it would have looked like.
Oh my God!
Looked like conceptual art upon your being. Sorry, upon your being, like
being.
Like green bean. Oh my God,
being.
God, he's so chuffed with himself.
One of the worst moments of my life.
I'm too much.
And here's us mocking you for it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I laugh about it now. At the time, I was like, "This is horrific. I want to rip my own braces out of my face." Like, yeah.
No, I feel so bad for you. I can't take it. It's like too much.
Steph Loftus, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
Thanks, guys.
I have just to finish off that story. What was the sound in the room? Did you find out?
The sound in the room was the grating of the engine.
Oh,
that was on fire.
It was travelling up because obviously when we went to bed, that grating had stopped, and it turns out that grating was whatever was making the sparks that set the engines on fire.
Jesus, that is literally my worst nightmare. I'm so afraid of the sea, and now it's like, it's possible for people to just be on a ship that's on fire. I can't.
You definitely shouldn't do what I did, which was like when I was obsessed with shipwrecks, just like Googling submarine crashes and stuff like that. And great.
You done that to me before to try and freak me out, and it was horrible.
thalassophobia, the fear of metal things underwater. Yeah,
I hate it. It makes my hands feel weird. I can't.
What I must point out is that we'd heard that noise around 2:00, and they first called that couple called someone at 10, and they didn't say shit, we might be going down until 11:45.
Oh,
so I reckon this has been happening for 10 hours.
You were never at danger going down because those.
Yeah.
Those ships are over-engineered to fuck.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest fear was because it was pitch black outside, and if you go outside at night on a cruise ship, you cannot see anything.
Yeah.
And so my biggest fear was if I've got to get into a lifeboat, then we're not going to be able to see anything for miles apart from the moon. And
but it's okay though,
because the right direction.
It's fine. It's fine. You're 4,000 miles, 4,000 miles to Spain, 6,000 miles to America, but you got a whistle and a little light,
a little torch.
You can make a really lovely tune. You can make a really lovely tune, and some of them might harmonise.
Oh,
and the ones of you that will live will be haunted by that noise as the whistle stops being blown.
Oh God!
And the harmony becomes thinner and thinner.
Can we not?
I can imagine. I can imagine that you end up on some desert island somewhere, and it's lost.
As a skittle band,
right? Yeah, right. And then there's some sort of medical emergency. And someone comes up and goes, if only we had a little piece of slither of metal, we'd be okay. And then you'd go, ha ha!
Yeah.
Me braces.
Oh yeah, the braces. I hope it's okay. There's a bit of green bean in them. Yeah.
We can use that to patch up this man's leg. You're a one-woman med kit.
The remnants of green bean will feed us for the rest of the year.
Hooray! We're saved!
Teach a person to eat a green bean and they live for a day, but teach them to plant that green bean.
Teach them to fish it out of their braces.
They'll
be
die
humiliated forever.
Hannah, what's it like to have an existential crisis on the internet, Hannah?
It's not great, let me tell you.
Carrying on with that existential crisis, Hannah Platts, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, hello. Just take a second because it's actually.
Hannah, the USS Thresher is a submarine that exploded with all hands on deck.
Because you know how I feel about metal things under the water.
While you take a second, Jonty's just put in the chat, there's a point out in the middle of the Pacific where the closest humans to you will be the crew of the ISS if it's overhead.
Is it a specific point?
Hey!
Oh my
Fucking hell. He's there tonight, isn't he? Aye.
I really hate myself sometimes, you've no idea.
Right, okay, I'm going to start thinking about the horrors of the deep.
So we only know about 2% of the ocean.
Yeah, I know that because I have to look at it because it freaks me out, even though I know I hate it. I don't know why, okay?
8% and we don't even know it's
really sick. Right. My arms feel weird. Okay. So I'm doing a story. So cast your mind back. I'm fine, by the way. Cast your mind back to the summer of 2008. Oh, you're probably really young. Not Dave, obviously. Yeah, you're there. Me and Dave are there. What? I'm just saying we're kindred spirits. So I feel really weird. I went to so I was just finished my second year at uni. So and we took a play to the Edinburgh Fringe, as people do. And we did actually quite well with it. We got nominated for a stage award for best ensemble.
Ooh.
But that doesn't mean we sold many tickets because obviously we didn't. But we sold some, and that's cool. We're at the Underbelly, and so we did the whole month, and we only had one day off in the middle. So obviously the night before the day off, we went hard. We went fucking hard. And we'd planned it the whole way up, like, oh, there'll be a night before the day off where we can like do what we want. It'll be great. Because the show that we were in was on at like a noon or something, or like 11:45, like 11:45 in the morning. So we couldn't, and we had to go flyering for like an hour and a half before that. So we'd had a lot of like, we were tired. We were very tired. So we finally got a day where we could have a lie-in. So we were like, yeah, let's do it. So we decided for like our big night off night, we'd go to this thing they would do. I think it was quite popular at the time, called Office Party, where it's like you go into, they use the Fringe Central building, so it's quite a big kind of like administrative type building from the university, I think it belongs to. And it's set up like it's your work Christmas party. So you turn up and they're like, oh, hey, oh, what is it? Oh, Hannah. Oh, yeah. And they write your name on a badge. So everyone's wearing name badges. And your badge has got your department on. So you get split into departments. So me and my friend Sarah were marketing.
This is peak you.
It was so good.
Now.
It was so great. So each department had like a person that was their kind of point of contact person. So we had Mandy from marketing, who was like really fun. And so
I'd have been setting the fucking fire alarms off at this point.
No, it was so good. No.
Was she legitimately fun? Or
yeah, no, she actually was hilarious. Yeah.
Right, okay.
And like, so interspersed in each of the departments were other comedians that you sort of recognized, but they were like playing characters of being like your colleagues. Everyone was like,
that's it. I'd be setting off the fucking fire alarms. I'm telling you.
Oh no, it was great.
This is my idea of hell.
So we stayed in the main room marketing because we were the fun ones, and we were like doing vodka shots.
You really weren't.
No, we were. Fuck you.
You weren't. The fun ones were the ones who were at another venue injecting vodka into their eyes.
Right. Well, there was about I would say there's probably about 80 people involved in this, so it's quite a big thing. It's not just like two of you.
God.
Yeah. So we were doing
I bet there was nowhere to sit either, was there? I bet it was
only if it's a work party. The only place to sit is the photocopier.
I'm like, sorry, I just seen this message from Hannah Torrance, and I'm like, it was actually cool, not just Hannah Nerd Platts cool. So the other groups were like, my other friends were sent off with the cleaners, and they went into the actual toilets and had a little sherry with Barbara. And the other group were like management, and they went upstairs and had like a champagne with Glenn Wool was playing the CEO of the company. I don't know if you know him, the comedian. And like there were, I can't remember what the other groups were. There was like HR and there was something, and they all had different drinks in different places.
No, Dave, tell us what you really feel about this. You're so on the fence.
It's absolutely my idea of hell. I would be. We were really drunk, so it was
great because we'd been drinking all since our show finished. We were like the show. I think we got out of the venue about 1:30, and we like went to the pub and we'd stayed there all day. So we were
Fringe dreams.
So yeah, so we were already quite drunk. We'd done a few vodka shots with Mandy, and then everyone came back together into the main room, and it was like doing sort of competitive games.
Look, it's just sort of like a middle class.
I was having a fun time.
Do you know what? I think that doing this on a cruise ship would be. But it's like a full 2 weeks in character. I think Dave would rather throw himself into the ocean.
I think
I would be starting
the darkness of the sea.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Hannah,
quickly.
What are you doing to me?
Hannah, look, it's a plane in the sea. It's a plane in the sea, Hannah. Oh.
I'm not looking at it.
I'm going to send a load of these just while she's talking.
Honestly, it makes people really sick. Right. So you've ruined my story now because you've made it sound lame.
No, we haven't. Come on.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was a lovely party.
Anyway, so there was kind of there was like a kind of I won't say storyline, but there was a kind of thing going on that was like one of the members of staff got fired at the party, and all of this, and then there was a bar there, so everyone was getting really drunk, and then there was these like competitive game elements of it. So there was a game that was like right, so there was a show on in Edinburgh that year, which I went to see with my mum when she came up for a few days because we thought it sounded hilarious, and it was ridiculous. It was called the Caesar Twins, right? And it was in the big upside down Purple Cow in the middle of Edinburgh. If you've been there, it's like the big underbelly venue. So we saw it for free because I had a pass, so that was something. But it was like these two brothers, they're twins, obviously they're identical twins, and they've got this like long bleached hair, and they're really buff, and they do like mad kind of circusy tricks. They do things where they like jump, like one of them pulls the other one up on a big rope, and they jump into this thing, and they're like balancing on stuff and balancing on each other's heads whilst standing on a ball and all of this. And you were like, oh, that's like an exciting feat of strength. But then they go into the kind of interpretive dance element of the show where he tells the story of getting injured.
Did somebody say interpretive dance?
I said it, but me and my mum looked at each other and went, dance. And then... And
this explains.
Like, he was all like limping, and then like at the end he like rose up on this harness thing with like feathers coming off, like he was a beautiful bird that had. So it was really weird, and they didn't speak any English or anything, so like there was no words in it. It was just like, yeah. So anyway, the Caesar Twins were there at Office Party, and there was a competition. It was like one of these stupid, like, oh, whichever group does this thing first, like they get a point or something. And it was like, whoever takes off the most clothes wins. So one of the Caesar Twins took all his clothes off. He was naked, and he did a backflip in the middle of the room, and I've never seen anything like it. And it was
as he went past, was just like,
and everyone else was like, oh, how can we compete with this? We can't. So there's like little bits of thing, and then like and then they were like, oh, the next competition is gonna be a cake eating competition. And by this point, I was so drunk, I was like really intense, Hannah. And I went up to Mandy, who was like really short. And I was like, Mandy, I was born for this. You have to believe me. This is my time. My time.
I'm trying to impress Mandy.
And she was really short as well. So I was like luring over her, like, Mandy, you have to believe me. This is me. You have to choose me to represent us. And she was like, okay. And like...
This story gets more and more flat with every passing sentence.
I know, it was so bad.
Just you aggressively shouting at an actress called Mandy.
You have to understand this is...
I must eat cake, Mandy!
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 I can imagine
the cake is mine!
Standing behind you is like a morbidly obese 7 foot tall man who's just eating loaves of bread, just going...
Give it to her, Mandy. I've not got the stamina.
He's got the will to win, and that's what's important here, man.
She's got gumption, Mandy. Gumption. You can't train that.
So I went up on the stage. Oh, and the whole...
On the stage?
There was a stage.
Oh, wait, I thought this was a stage like
with like all these cakes on.
You can't have a cake eating competition on the level with the audience.
I thought this whole thing was like mingling, and I thought it'd be like a...
No,
oh no, Hannah, no.
I had to go up on the stage, and the whole evening was like emceed by the guy from Horrible Histories with the cute hair.
Which
like,
one? They all do.
It's really adorable little. Like, he looks like you could just squish him. He's like a cute little.
The one who plays Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Thin one. The thin one.
I know, me too.
Yeah, he's quite famous, isn't he?
And you know what he
is
loves?
that Matthew Bainton?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
He's hot.
Oh my god!
And you know what he loves?
From the wrong man's.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's so good.
And you know, you know,
I know. Look at him.
You know what he loves, don't you? He loves seeing women stuffing their face with cake.
Well, this is what I learned. But remember, this is 2008, so this is before he was that famous. Like I recognized him a bit, but like
he'd been in Ashes to Ashes in 2008.
I didn't watch Ashes to Ashes.
The fuck is wrong with you?
I'm so sorry. I went up there there was like 5 of us, and there were these like horrible like cakes that were like it was like those sort of Victoria sponges that you get in the supermarket where they've got like desiccated coconut on top and like jam.
I like those. Oh,
it's the
they're
coconut.
All right, but I mean they're not.
And when I was like, I'm fucking ready for this, motherfucker. And I'm like looking everyone in the eye like, you're all fucking going down. This is what I've been born for. And they were like, oh, but by the way, you're not allowed to use your hands. You have to just eat it with just your face.
What? I'm sorry, what?
We had to stand with our hands behind our back, and he shouted something, and we had to eat the cake. But I was fucking ready to win, obviously. So I just went for it. I just fucking shoved my face in that cake, and but it turns out so I came second, right?
Oh, Hannah!
It turns out the girl on the end who won used her hands and cheated because she was even more drunk than me and didn't know where she was. So technically, I should have won. So
I mean, I'd have put her off the stage.
Yeah, I was so angry. I was raging because I think the prize was like a bottle of vodka or something. Anyway,
and that woman is now Priti Patel.
Yeah.
She's the Home Secretary.
Boy.
I mean that took a fucking left turn, didn't it?
You know what all of these stories sounds like. You know the expansion packs you get on The Sims, and it's just it's like that, but like everyone's had fun on all of the sliders, and just like wrapped it up to the the biggest setting.
So I came sort of stumbling down off the stage. And
Mandy's there going, I believed in you.
Everyone's like shaking their head. My best friend Sarah is there, and she's like, you should come with me. And she led me to like the ladies, because I obviously hadn't realised that I had cake everywhere. And so she was like, oh, we need to sort you out. And so I'm literally stood in the toilets scooping cake out of my boobs and like laughing and like crying and like laughing and like trying to get the icing off and the jam, and I'm like scooping it out because I had like I was quite hot then. I was like, had quite a low cut thing on, so it was like it had all just basically had just gone right in there, and it was all. She's like getting loo roll and trying to like wipe it. And like,
I mean, 2 things: never use the word then.
Yes, go.
And two, that is a pulling opportunity, Hannah.
Right?
Yeah.
Who wants your help with this?
Oh no, boys! I seem to have cake all in my
Oh no!
Oh,
we're never gonna get the cake off.
Oh no, there's icing on my nips.
Oh no!
And I'm so drunk. I would never really do this usually. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That is actually another story.
Can I ask what the jam to cream ratio was in the cake?
Not good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was poultry, I would say.
Oh.
Yeah. Poultry ratios. So then in the story, Mandy got fired and was like, well, fuck you then, jumped up, ripped her clothes off. She was wearing a silver bikini and she started pole dancing. And it was like the most amazing pole dancing I've ever seen. She was like upside down and spinning around. And I was like, I love you so much, Mandy. And afterwards, I was so like, I love you. I found her and we did shots together later that night because I was like, you're amazing. Your thighs. And like,
that's how Hannah says how shows her love about
your
anyone.
thighs.
Your thighs. That's
What a lovely
not
puppy you've
fair.
got. Those thighs. Just
Can I just say?
Yeah.
Hannah's just put in the chat, I missed the start of this story and I'm thoroughly confused by what event this is supposed to be. Don't anyone tell her! Don't anyone tell her!
Yeah. So so when it like finished, they turned the room into like a silent disco and everyone was like really drunk and it was great and blah blah blah. But then the full stop to the story is a few days later. I got a text message from my mum.
oh no.
And it said
Were you on a BuzzFeed article?
it said, I've just seen you on BBC Two with your face in a cake.
Oh no.
And it turns out the Culture Show we're in. And the Culture Show filmed a special that includes me putting my face in a cake.
Wow.
And I have that clip for you tonight because it's on YouTube.
What?
It's really grainy footage.
I think I might love you a little bit, Hannah.
Can I try and show it if it works?
Oh,
Try it.
Okay.
if
Okay.
this doesn't work, we'll put it on the socials. So follow
Yeah,
us on
okay,
the
yeah.
socials. But oh my god.
Okay, right.
Right, hang on. Yeah, hold on, Hannah. Hold on. I've got to make it full screen. Okay. Play
Okay.
that video, Hannah.
Okay. Is it full screen?
Yeah. Go on. Okay, it's a bit jerky. I can only imagine the cameraman was in the toilet with you at some point.
Can you see it?
Okay, yeah, so it's a bit jerky.
Yeah,
oh, dear.
There's
Yeah,
Matthew
but-
Bainton.
That's
It was
some
set in,
very
like, the
grainy
70s.
footage.
I mean,
Yeah, see, there was a lot of people there. That's him getting his, like, name badge.
character.
Okay, yeah. Oh, it's just okay. It's going
That's
now.
fine.
Is it doing it?
Yeah, it's
Hey,
going. That's
Glenn
Glenn
Wool.
Wool. Yeah, I recognise Glenn.
There was, like, some of the, like, entertainment. Oh, there I am.
Oh, no.
They're my breasts.
Oh my god.
that was quite a low cut top, wasn't it, Hannah?
Should I go back?
Hey, Hannah.
Yeah, just go back and let's enjoy the cake smash because it was the lack of hesitation in it, which I really appreciate. It was just the cake. Smash,
So
smash,
that's
smash, smash.
me there.
Cakey bazooms.
Wow.
I cannot describe to you how that you get a little. You see me screaming a bit later on. I don't know if it'll come up. There I am. That's me and my friend Kiara screaming at a stripper.
Oh God.
That's the most Hannah thing.
That's Mandy.
Mandy!
Wait, that's my friend there as well, and that's Mandy. So there you go.
Oh.
That is incredible.
Hannah, class, ladies and gentlemen.
That might be the best thing of anything I've ever seen in my life. That's remarkable.
John's just pointed out you could have at least tied your hair back, but I reckon you was off your face that much. You just hadn't even thought about it.
Didn't even. Yeah, no. Honestly was so drunk. I can't. I wouldn't have even known how.
It's
Yeah, that was that.
Wow, I'm a little bit horrified.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit in love with you.
Thanks, Steph.
I'm also a little bit in love with you, but I am not going to the same parties you're going to.
I am.
That seems. Hannah, why is it that because when we went to the London gig,
Yep.
at like 5 a.m., the like a half an hour before us, London.
London.
There was an improv show on which they had 2 members of the audience come up out, and they made them eat a
pie.
whole cherry pie each.
Stand Pie Me, it was called.
While the two people behind were them in the future narrating how well they did. I remember that time when I smushed the pie in your face. I just forcing them to do dumb stuff with pie. But now I just think that Hannah, you're going, should I? I don't really want to, but it's. I don't want to waste the pie.
Yeah, I would have eaten the whole pie.
The pie has got 2 places to go: my mouth and my boobage.
It's highlighted to me that there are definitely 2 Edinburgh festivals, isn't there? There's the one you went to,
and like I don't like. Yeah, and to be fair, I was only like 21 then, so.
My favourite. What's everyone's favourite Fringe memory? Because mine's waking up on the Cowgate under a bridge with a stray dog.
I got punishment on me by Dave Benson Phillips once.
Classic.
I haven't been absolutely hammered at the Fringe because I've only been up there twice, and I was a old man when I went up there.
Old men get drunk.
I've been drunk at the Fringe, but not like to the point where I wake up with stray dogs.
A couple of years ago, we got drunk and decided to go to the castle, but obviously it's shut at night because it was about 2 a.m. and the security guard chased us away. And we were like, no, we're not trying to get in. We just wanted to look at it. And we ran away.
I've not been to a Fringe.
Me neither.
It's very cobbly.
A player of mine has been up there, and the theatre company were like, Mike, we put your play on a bus. Is that all right? And I was like, yeah. And the bus travelled around whilst the plane was going on.
That's pretty
That's nice. I like the idea of that.
Nice. But there's no cake or Mandy. Wasn't.
Mandy! I'm going to shout that from a mountain.
I may do a Fringe. I may do a Fringe story a bit later on, but we'll see. Anyway, Hannah Platts, ladies and gentlemen, that was great.
You're welcome.
We've also breached copyright. Yeah, fuck you, BBC.
Yeah.
Technically, we own you. So, yeah.
Was it less than 15 seconds?
It was only a few seconds, wasn't it?
Yeah, also, we were commentating on it, so it's fair use.
Okay.
And we've got no money anyway. So,
yeah. Try and sue for nothing.
Yeah. You'll be bitterly disappointed.
Yeah.
Surely, if it's BBC, it's public property. No.
That you'd think so, wouldn't you? You'll claw the money out of my cold, dead hands.
Cold, dead
out of my cold, dead, tiny hands.
Oh, yes. It's my turn to do a story.
Do you need to just go?
Yeah.
Bring it on.
It's my turn to do a story, folks.
Dave Pitt, ladies and gentlemen. Give me council pop.
Right. While I do this, I just need to look something up so I'll get the timing right. This is about.
Is it choreography?
No. This is about why I don't like the film Good Morning Vietnam. And Good Morning Vietnam, for those that don't know, came out in 1987. So this happened in 1987. I was 14. That's how old I am.
I was -6.
Yeah, that's how old I am.
In what year?
87.
I was -3.
So
we're so young, Steph.
So only you and me were alive, Dave.
I am a granddad, don't forget. So yeah, I was 14. And this was the first time I properly skived off school.
Oh, you bad boy.
It would not be the last. Like, the last 2 years of school, I was hardly ever there. I can't entirely remember exactly what happened. Whether my dad was off ill or whether he was going to work but ended up not, or something. But my dad ended up being at home. I did a bit of a runner, so I wasn't going to go to school. So I did what all kids do. You put a different shirt in your bag. Yeah. Went and like got somewhere quiet, took my school shirt off and my tie, put them in my bag, put my other shirt on. I can go about my day then. I'm not a 14-year-old skiving school. I'm 16 and I just haven't got a job yet. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm living in Darlaston at the time, and I walk from Darlaston. And if people know the geography, I walk from Darlaston into Willenhall and then into Wolverhampton. So that's quite a walk.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty far.
It's like going Leicester, Oldby, Birmingham.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, I've got a budget because I'm 14, so I've got like £3 or whatever, and that's got.
But you're also really wise, and that's a great thing.
Well,
on paper,
you've got to understand where I'm at this point in my life. So I'm 14. I'm definitely suffering from depression, and I don't know. I'm definitely. There's something wrong with me. I have since been diagnosed with borderline Asperger's, so there's probably that going on. I fucking hate school. Like, I really hate it. Funnily enough, my wife came home the other night and she said, when you were at school, were you always arguing with the teachers? And I'm like, oh, yes. And she's like, yeah, says we've got some Asperger's kids. And they're always like onto the teacher. If the teachers do something wrong, they're always like, ah, you know.
What are they like? Sorry.
Yeah. That's
There's like a sense of justice and injustice. Is quite a
justice and injustice is like. The school I'm going to is a pretty horrible comprehensive school, and you've got teaching there, which, let's be honest, would not happen nowadays. So I've basically decided this day I'm scarpering, and I go to Wolverhampton. So I'm wandering around Wolverhampton, and my world up till this point has always been Darlaston and just like the little bit around it. And now I'm in the big city of Wolverhampton, and I'm on my own, and it's all a bit
big city.
Yeah. But there's this thing, like...
We're going to Wolvo.
Right. I don't know, because you can only see the world.
We've got BT and we've a big horse.
Yes. I don't know if other people... Because you can only see the world through your own eyes, can't you? So maybe everyone experiences it like this, but I don't know. I've always had it where things go on and I'm just completely unaware of them. You know what I mean?
That's being a bloke.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hundy P.
I think we've had it to 1448 where there's been some like row going on right around me, and then it's just been like, well, you were there, you were next to it.
Yeah, but Dave, I've seen you at 1448, and normally you're hammered, mate. So.
That's not what it is, right? So
it can be like a kind of hyper-focused thing, though.
I go into Wolverhampton. I spend the day milling around, doing what kids who are wagging it from school do. Decide wagging it.
I misheard it as well.
Wagging it.
No, I've never heard the phrase before.
Oh, haven't you? Is it a Black Country
Skiving.
phrase? Wagging.
It was skiving. Yeah.
Skiving.
Haven't you heard it, Steph?
No.
Oh yeah, it was always when
Like
I was
I'm the
at school.
official adjudicator of Black Country. No.
Quickly, let's ask the Queen of the Black Country.
Let me check my list. No.
I'm gonna have to put that phrase in the
Black
poem.
Country correspondent.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard that one. Yeah.
It's an Aussie. It's an Aussie phrase.
Oh right. Well, that's according to the internet. So who
True,
knows if that's
as we know, the internet has a strong Aussie bias.
John T has said he's heard wagging it used in that context before. So yeah. Anyway, wandering around Wolverhampton, and I see the cinema, the one that was opposite the police station. It used to I think you'd know it as Oceana, Steph.
Right. Okay. Can we stop making me sound old?
It's now
It was
demolished.
previously Atlantis, but I wasn't old enough to go in that either.
Yeah, right.
I was old enough.
So that was originally a cinema.
Okay.
And Good Morning Vietnam was playing.
Oh no.
So it was in my budget. So I'm like, hey, I will spend the afternoon watching Good Morning Vietnam because it's warm. You see?
Hey.
Right.
Thinking. So I queue up because still waiting for the cinema to open. It turns out it's like the first day, or not the first day, but like the first week that film's been on. So there's a few people in the queue waiting to see the new film because Robin Williams is in it and he was in Mork and Mindy, wasn't it? Right. So I'm in the queue and this guy is standing behind me and starts chatting. Now, we didn't have a word for it back then. We have a word for it now, and that word is grooming.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I had no fucking idea at the time. Like, fucking textbook, right? How old are you? Oh, I'm 16. Like, and I reckon he didn't know.
Yeah.
And then just very casual chat before it's like have you got a girlfriend? You know what I mean? Do you like porn? That's, it's all... I'm fucking... Not in that order, Adam. There was a bit more...
How old are you? Have you a girlfriend? Do you like porn? Okay.
At the time, like now, in fact, later that day, but now it's like, duh. But you're 14,
When you're in the moment, yeah.
right? And people need to understand this because I still hear it now. Things are a lot better now, but then it was. I think I sent a message to you lot about. Is it the History Boys? Where I have a real problem with the bit at the end of the History Boys where he goes off with the paedophile teacher and it's all a big joke. And I'm like, really? Like, coming from a school where we were physically assaulted by the teachers and there was sexual assault by teachers. So there were teachers in my school and it was common knowledge. It was like, you do not get in trouble with that teacher because they will take you in the office and they will fill you up. It's just, that's what they do. And you're like...
Did you... Just because I need to know how shocked to be. Did you say feel you up or fill?
Feel.
Right, okay, because everyone else's reaction wasn't particularly shocked, and I was like, did I... What's going on here?
No. We were all going to go, oh yeah. Like, no.
So, I end up going into the cinema. Again, I've got no fucking idea what's happening here. And I am totally oblivious to this. So I just think it's a guy being nice and chatty. I'm thinking back, I'm kind of like the perfect victim for them. Because it's, a kid who's obviously suffering from mental illness, who obviously is having issues at school and he's feeling detached from society. And it's the fucking text, other than the fact that my home life was stable and I never had any issues like that with my you know, a lot of people get beaten up by their folks or sexually. You know, I never had any of that from my parents. So it's like that. Other than that, I had all the like textbook kind of warning signs that you'd have now. So going to the cinema and he sits next to me, carries on chatting. Then he kind of goes, "It's really cold in here, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it is cold, yeah." And he went, "Feel me hand." Of course, I touched his hand. As soon as I did, he grabbed my hand, pulled it to his crotch. And I'm like, fuck. But I'm, in my head, I've got that kind of, right, all of a sudden, everything's become real. I'm like, oh, and I'm thinking, this is like the teacher at school, right? Fuck. And I remember I didn't kind of go, ugh. Right, I kind of just pulled my hand away and just thought, right, what I can't do now is run. Like, if I fucking scarper, he's going to come after me. I've got to get out of here without him being suspicious. Bearing in mind, there's a police station over the road. At no point did I think, I'll go to the police station, because I know what would have fucking happened in the late 80s. They'd have done me for wagging it from school. That's what would have fucking happened. So I kind of waited what felt like an hour, but it wasn't, because we were still pretty much in the first act. I might not have been in school, but I know me fucking films. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Well, they can't be that late. They're still setting up the characters.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
You know your narrative structure.
We're still in the exposition phase.
So I gave it what felt like a long enough period of time that he wouldn't be suspicious, and went, "Oh, I've got to go to the toilet." Stood up, went out, and just went out the cinema.
Yeah, ran.
Got out of there, and all of a sudden the world is just like, I kind of felt, for the very first time ever, I felt the kind of size of the world. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That it just became this, I'm really out of my fucking depth here. This is not a good place to be. So I scarpered to a phone box, phoned home, because I'm like, at this point, I'm just like, I don't care what happens now. I've just got to get out of this situation.
Yeah.
So I phoned home, knowing that I must have known my dad was home. I can't quite remember why he'd have been home, because he would have been working at this point. But I must have known he was at home. Maybe he was on holiday or something, or ill or whatever. But I phoned home and he's like, "Where were you? Where are you?" He knew I hadn't been at school. He's like, "I've been worried sick. Where have you been? Where are you?" Turned out, as I'm walking from Willinghall to Wolverhampton, a teacher comes past in the car.
Oh.
Gets to the school and goes, "Is Dave Pitting today?" Because I think I've just seen him. And they're like, "No." So they then phoned home, and my dad's like, "He's at school," and they're like, "No, he's not. One of the teachers just seen him walking down the Willinghall Road towards Wolverhampton." So he's sat at home all day panicking, not knowing where I was. I then phone him, and I'm like, and he's it's easy to kind of criticise his reaction, but he's not going to fucking know what was going on. I'm there going, "There's this guy, I think this guy's after me, I need to go, I'm in Wolverhampton, and he's like, "Right." He fucking goes mad at me over the phone. Of course he does, because he's spent all day like, where is he? I put the phone down, scarper over the road, and just jump on the bus. I see the 79 bus, and I just jump on the bus and head home. I get home, my dad's there. It turns out my dad has driven up to Wolverhampton, walks around Wolverhampton, and come back in the time it took me. So I get another bollocking when I get home of, "Well, you said you was in Wolverhampton. You wasn't in Wolverhampton." And I'm like, the world's just this big horrible place. That's the first time I've told this story since it's fucking happened. This is all the reason I wanted to tell this. We're in a much better position than we were then, because we have got words like grooming. We have got somebody hug Dave. Fuck off. We have got words like grooming. We have got safeguarding and things like that in place, and we didn't then. I couldn't go to the police station. I couldn't. And it's not me going paranoid that they've given me a bollocking. No, I'd have got into trouble if I'd have gone to that police station. Up until very recently, if prostitutes, use the proper terminology, if sex workers had gone to report a crime to the police, they'd have been fucking arrested. You know what I mean? For being sex workers, and it's wrong. The reason I wanted to tell this is just like, people think that I'm all like bubbly and confident, and I'm not. I'm a fucking wreck, and I've got no self-esteem. I've got very little confidence. I'm questioning myself constantly. I don't think I'm worth anything, and I'm not asking you to just all start going, "Oh, you are." No, I don't want any of that, because it doesn't fucking work, right? We the vulnerable people in society, we're not fucking helping them. We keep victim shaming, and we shouldn't. And anyone could be a victim in any situation. I've seen people who are like claim to be on the left, and they've criticised people because it's that classic thing. I saw someone sitting in a disabled spot, and there was nothing wrong with them. You don't fucking know that. You don't fucking know that.
No.
I've seen this person wasn't wearing a mask. Fucking scum. You don't fucking know what is going on in that person's head. It could be that they believe all the YouTube bullshit. It's a conspiracy. It's not a fucking beard of wasps. Wear a mask, right? But it could also be that they've fucking had people pinning them down and holding a fucking hand over their mouth, and they don't want that feeling. You don't fucking know that. Stop judging them, you fucking sanctimonious cunt. Right? Can we just start thinking that people are people, and they've got emotions, and they're just trying to make their way in the world? And can we just start being fucking nice? That's why I wanted to tell that story. So sorry it got a bit serious, but... And fuck Good Morning Vietnam. I still can't see that film.
I've just quickly checked, and you are allowed to swear on Twitch. That's fine. But if you cuss a lot, you should mark your content as mature. So I've just checked, and also of the first hour or so you watched of the film, Robin Williams' performance is really captivating, isn't it? It's really.
It is, yeah. Good. But you know what? It brings back memories that I can't deal with very well. I wonder why.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing that, Dave. I think it's really important to talk about stuff like that. I think it's like really good of you to share that.
It feels better that it's kind of out there, because it's
good. Yeah.
And
I'm probably doing a counselling course in the next 6 months, so we'll have a chat after that.
Yeah. I don't want to come across as woe is me. Oh, haven't I had it bad? Because I fucking haven't.
I haven't. That's a terrible thing to experience.
But like, the reason that people like that, the way they get away with it, is because the whole inherent thing of it has got this shame around it, which it shouldn't have. Like, for the person who's the victim, like that's the reason they get away with it, is because you think, well, like, oh well, I can't go and tell them because, oh, what if I did something that, do you know what I mean? Like, it's that thing of having to try and get out of a situation without them kicking off is like something that, like, I'm like, I've had to do loads of times to be like, oh, well, how can I tell this person to fuck off without them trying to kill me? It's like a thing that you think about all the time. So like, yeah, it's really important to talk about it because
I that's always amazed me in that, like, I'll get stressed over the smallest thing, and then
we haven't noticed.
Yeah, and then something like that happens, and my brain just becomes kind of really focused.
I was gonna like, it was remarkable, really, how you managed to appear to have thought so clearly in terms of your next.
And I've never understood it. There was an issue. I pulled up in my car outside my house, and someone was doing a U-turn. And as they did a U-turn, a motorbike was coming down, and they didn't see the motorbike, and the motorbike hit the car.
Oof.
Of course, the bike kind of went off. Car kind of skidded over the road. There just seemed to be loads of people all of a sudden. I don't know what happened, but I don't know why. Like, I should have been, and I just went, and just became the responsible adult.
I think it's like when you have anxiety anyway, like your brain's always preparing you for worst case scenario all the time. And so when something bad actually happens, you're like, fucking, I've done the drill. I'm ready for this. Yeah.
I've overthought this situation 1,000 times before.
I've been through this like 100 times already just when I've been trying to get to sleep.
Yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning for fucking 4 months in 1997. I fucking worked this one. I'm here. It's my time to shine. You, you. No, I'm not asking the group. You, because I know I've got to ask a particular person to do the job. Otherwise, no one does it. So you, phone an ambulance. You, get some blankets. I've got this. Bring it on.
Yeah.
But someone's mouse doesn't work at work, and I'm like, ah!
I was listening to Louis Theroux's Grounded podcast the other week, and he was saying exactly this, and how that like people with anxiety and introverts have been planning for like moments of lockdown and possible apocalyptic scenarios all their life, because they've been like thinking about stuff, and somehow like when it actually happens, it's less sort of all-consuming because you've thought about it.
Can we just this is very unscientific. Who suffers with anxiety? Okay. Who?
Like, now hang on a second.
Hold on. Who panic bought?
Who panic bought?
Yeah.
Like, when you say suffers with anxiety, are you saying clinically suffers with anxiety, or experiences periods where they feel anxious?
No, clinically.
Okay.
Because I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone who suffers from anxiety who did panic buying.
That's because it involves going outside, mate.
Well, there's that as well, isn't there?
My favorite theory of like why when you see something horrible happening, like a near-death experience in your life, because it does flash before your eyes, is that it's your brain rapidly going through all your memories, trying to find something that will help in this situation.
That's amazing.
And it's your brain going, "Oh God, I've never been attacked by a lion before."
I
saw that YouTube video of a man fighting off a tiger once. Okay.
I can imagine that if Hannah's been attacked by some sort of wild beast,
we'd have heard of it by now.
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna win on it.
Yeah. You'd immediately be like,
she's been training for jellyfish things all her life.
This is how we do it.
So that's my story. There you go. I fucking hate Good Morning
Vietnam.
Steph, it's your accent, Steph.
I know it.
I like it when Steph does it. Dive Pete.
You know what's funny is I don't think I do the accent very well.
No.
Like I said earlier, I think very few people manage to do that accent as good as Hannah does.
Yeah. Hannah nails it.
Adam just sounds like he's constantly got a cold.
Wolverhampton's a very cold place.
On that note,
have a drink of council pop.
On that note, Adam Unwin, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
Yay! I have to follow a sad, sad tale. Yay!
I have to fart. Then I was like,
Oh no, I wouldn't. My tactic with farting on this show is I just do it anyway.
I love that you've already got a tactic for that.
Did in the live show, do on Zoom.
No, everyone needs to go back and watch YouTube and try and pinpoint those.
The bit when he goes.
It's if you
do
see me
that a lot.
Yeah, but that's because this chair is slippy. That's the reason why. I'm not gonna.
Remember in the pink day when they used to do spot the ball on a Saturday. It's like that. But
Spot the ball.
Spot the ball.
Have we come back to like wanking on Zoom if you're doing spot the ball?
Hey.
Easiest obvious joke, but I'm proud of it. Yes, what am I doing? What am I talking about? What am I? Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Some sort of drinking story, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was not. Not all of my stories involve booze in my hole. That's so.
What?
What?
What did you say? Booze in my hole?
No. No, that's a village in Lincolnshire. Booze in the hole. Booze in my hole, as in alcohol.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like saxophone.
Sound like booze in my hole.
Right. Stop talking about my boozy hole, Hannah. Crack.
I knew
No, so this is the tale of my my first job out of university. I worked business to business sales for an LPG company, liquefied petroleum gas, called Flowgas. Really good job.
So glamorous.
You say that. I many a times woke up drunk because of that job. But this story's not. This story's about my commute, which was when I first started, I was like, I'll cycle in and out. It's 8 kilometers from my house. I have a bike that is too small for me. And that's perfect for cycling along a lovely canal and just from my home, get on the canal, all the way up the lovely towpath, lovely little marina. People on boats called things like the Mabel. And my favourite one, genuine, was called the Cat on the Hill. Proper good old fashioned 1960s boat names.
In Texas?
Yes. It was a very long commute. And so on one of the first cycles into work, my bike exploded, which is a normal thing for bikes.
Your bike? Was it the actual bike or the tyre?
So no, the tyres were fine. What happened was, do you know the derailleur? The derailleur, the bit that all the gears, the loopy bit.
How often do they flower? How often do they flower?
Well, this one didn't. This one less floured and more shattered into my leg.
Oh no!
Something had clearly got stuck on the chain. It went through everything, hitched in there. It bent, and the whole thing went.
John, can you clip that, please?
And embedded some very cheap plastic into my shins.
Into
that
your
bit,
leg.
That bit, the derailleur. So that bit went into me. Yeah. So I was like, okay, this is fine. So I need to get to work still. I'll phone them. I phoned my boss, and she was like, "Well, Adam, you're late." I was like, "I am late. Yes, my bike exploded." Adam explained. I explained. Wonderful. She went, "Okay, well, do you want me to come and get you?" I was like, "No, I'm about 10-minute walk away. I'll just walk in." But Adam, what about your bike? Only the regular amount. How
much is that?
Enough. Enough that it didn't ruin the trousers I was wearing, but enough that it damaged the sock. Like a blood-stained sock, but the trouser was relatively okay. That level.
It'd run down the leg.
It'd run down the leg into the sock, which was
the edge of the trouser.
No. It touched the trouser enough, but a sensible washing.
But it hadn't
splattering.
Yeah, it was a splattering on the trouser, but a soaking of the sock.
Are we talking calf injury or?
Oh no, it was like calf shin on the inside of my right leg, where
Right.
blood often lived.
Okay. Yes. I'm just orientating myself for the
That's
video.
fine. No, you know, that's important. Everyone needs orientation, especially those living in the East, as that's what that word means. Orient. Occident is the West. Orient is the East. Latin facts.
We've got the Tory side this week.
No, that I learned from a YouTube video, so it's fine.
Say what you want, but I've never spoken Latin at you. Okay.
No, but you yelled at me a couple times because my Greek was wrong.
I did do that the other day.
And you just last week.
So I explained I'll be late.
This is why I don't want to go to the parties you go to.
Because they're like, I think you'll find it comes from the Greek, not the Latin. So
It wasn't pronounced Veni Vedivici, it's Weni Wedi Wiki. Oh, you're gonna start.
oh, they didn't have the V sound, it was a W in Latin.
It has to be pronounced that way, otherwise the rhymes don't work. You've read no Roman poetry at all.
I'm there with 2 syringes in each eye going on.
One is vodka, one is just pure. It's Banks's bitter. So yeah, what I did, so the boss went. I've forgotten her name. That's terrible. It's not terrible. She was a beige human being. She was onto the business world as Belgium is to the world stage.
Beige.
Nothing. She was gruel.
Hello to our viewers in Antwerp.
Bruges is lovely this time of year, I've heard. So this beige lady asked me what I was going to do. So I can't wheel my bike in because it is, to quote Shakespeare, fucked. And I said, she must have been so confused because this is the phrase she heard. Don't worry, I'll store it in a hedge. What? And so what I did was I just picked this bike up and went, yeah. Bike in hedge, perfectly secure. It's fine. I limped to work.
To be fair, it was an exploded bike.
It was exploded.
Wait, but was it in one? Could you have wheeled it?
I very probably could have. However, I didn't have a bike lock because I'm a gene. Yes. So
where were you normally putting it?
Can I just
in work? But I don't want to bring a broken bike to work because that would look bad. However, turning up blooded, it's fine.
Oh.
Can I just point out? I was once going with a few mates to the NEC Arena to see some band. And we had beers on the train and we didn't finish all the beers. And one of them said, we'll take them in. And we were like, no, you can't take beers into the NEC. They won't let you. He's like, that's okay. And he just, like when you walk from the train station to the NEC, you've got all these bushes.
Yeah.
He just fucking disappeared. Come back and went, it's fine. And stored the beers in a hedge.
Yeah.
We came out of the gig and somehow he fucking found those beers.
Yeah.
Like a little drunk squirrel.
Like a little squirrel.
But on a night out once had a teacup, a teapot taped to my hand. And then we had to go in a club. Of course, I'm going to explain this on another one. But then I wanted it afterwards. Took it off, hid in a bush. Next morning, came by, picked up. Next morning, not even after the club. It was the next morning. Right, but that's a different story, and I'll happily tell that one. But this the bike
eco-friendly wardrobes, aren't
they? Yeah. So as far as I know, that bike is still there. Because what I did then was get the train home. And was like, that bike is fucked. The back hole, it was a bike I'd had since I was like 15. It's Syston. Syston has a train station. Syston, Salby, Barrow-upon-Soar, Last East Lisbon Parkway, Nottingham. That's the route.
I thought it was the one that was.
What's that acronym
for? That was the first time of twice. So I've actually realized I've never legally got rid of a bike. I've just realized what I normally do is wheel it into Leicester City Centre, not lock it, lean it against something and walk off. And then I'll come back later and it'll be gone. I'm like, fucking sweet. That's how I get rid of my old bikes.
They're all being hoarded by the Fae somewhere.
I'd like to think so. So anyway, I
would love it if it was the original Fox from your first story. Just like
It all links.
because he wants to be close.
It smells like Adam.
Let me tell you.
So
She's
I've
got a
got- so that's-
shrine like Alga from Hey Arnold, but it's a fox.
Oh my
Remember
God,
that? That was a mad plot.
Yeah. So that's the first of the three in like what the fuck are you doing on your commute stories. And then the second time, I got a new bike. Ooh, a Halfords original. You're welcome. £149. I checked the price. It's gone up since then. Haha. It was. I believe they call it a hybrid, which means it can go off road, but you're fucked if you do. I think that's the technical term.
Sounds a bit like a wheelchair.
Yeah. I mean, I'd still love to see you in Edinburgh, just on the cobble. Just...
Yeah, uphill. Uphill.
Oh, going up that fucking curvy. Yeah, brilliant. I love it. All right, just that could be a show on its own.
Absolutely.
Edinburgh's like an Escher drawing. It's just you go
Everywhere.
out of a venue, you go uphill,
Yeah.
and then to go back to the venue, you go uphill. It's
Yeah.
I hate it.
But so this time I was in. What I used to wear to work sometimes was a horribly shit, like dark bluey shiny suit because it was sales and it was deliberate. I did it deliberately to piss my manager off.
Were you selling milk tray?
No.
Okay.
But also, Adam, it hides the blood, doesn't it?
This suit does not hide the blood because I know that. Because this one time I was like, this one time I was like, right, I'll bike to the train station, I'll bike in, I'll train in, and I'll bike back. The bike back is always a lot nicer. I'm not panicking. I can do it as slowly as I want. I can take fun detours. Fun. And as I'm cycling down the hill to the station, I clip a van goes past and clips my handlebars, which is, to be fair to them, a dick move.
Yeah, why were they that near to you?
Because they just just whammed down the window to shout Ron at me. As in Ron Weasley, because the humour, the classic British wit and banter level. It is off the scale, the pricks.
Sympathise with you as now an honorary Dindler.
You're an orange-haired freak.
That's the look I was going for, so in your face.
Oh, 1-0 to Platts.
Mandy likes it.
Yeah.
Mandy likes it, and Mandy is all. And so, I go down on that. My suit, luckily for me and my suit, the floor broke my fall. So I just went down like a sack of shit. Did just like this much away from the rear Pirelli of this van. So, win alive. Got up. I was like, I'm fucking all right here. In front of me, I am pretty swish. Feel the back. The suit is completely fine. Down the legs, the suit is fine. I am in for a winner. Get to the station. Tie the bike up on the train. Love it. Get to work. Jacket off. Sit down. I just go. Oh, that's sticky. Why is my chair... I don't know why I'm this gay now. Why is my chair so sticky? And my boss turned around. Adam, why is your chair so sticky? And my back was just wonderful red. Lovely, lovely.
Oh, no.
That's from... Yeah, that was fun. That was funny. Which meant I got to go home early, mainly to change my shirt and come back in. Because I'm a professional, damn it. We have standards.
Was it grazed or what? Yeah.
The shirt, no, it was just covered in blood.
Your back, I mean. You
What am I like? It was just grace to buggery, but a nice and a healthy, mature layer of Savlon later.
Oh.
I had done this face.
Not to be confused. Not to be confused with the popular takeaway, Sabloy.
Or the expensive spice saffron, which that would
Or
be
the hotel.
yeah, or the long sausage.
Or the baddie on Blake Seven, Serverland.
Serverland, yeah. What a fucking reference that is. What's that? 1978? Are you here?
Hello? At last, I've been waiting for you to call.
Warn them about all the terrible things. Warn them about Thatcher.
Stock up approval.
The other day, I got a message from my friend just saying, the other day, I got a message from my friend just saying, hey, I just remembered Thatcher's dead, so have a good Monday. I was like, yay.
I love us so much. There could literally be two people watching this, and we don't give a fuck.
And my third and final awful cycling commute story, which is why
Savloning your back is not an easy task either. I was just trying to work out.
Were you being savloned by somebody else?
No, I worked with people who worked full time, as did I, like a real adult. No, so what I did two things, and oh wow, this is a fact I'd honestly forgotten. I did the whole trying to because I can reach every part of my back because I've got stupid shoulder blades, which means they can like dislocate and stuff. So I can lick my elbows and things like that. But what I also did was
do it, Adam. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it now.
Oh, it's been a while. Let me test it first. It's been so long, and yeah, hang on. I do it that way. I can't do that anymore.
Oh!
Clip
You
it.
saw it here first, ladies and
Clip
gentlemen.
it.
What I did was I put.
I'm assuming this breaches the terms of service.
Is it vulgar and gross?
No, only
I
if the
believe
woman
so.
does it.
No, that's only she does it whilst the nipples out. Yeah. I did as much as I can, and then I put Savlon on the shower wall and just rubbed against it like a bear.
That is genius. I've got to be
How
honest.
many just clean the Savlon off, and then the next person to use the shower is like, there's
like-
Savlon and blood everywhere.
They're saving it in here.
This tastes like Adam blood. Adam, onward. So the third and last of my cycling from Flowgas commuter terrors. I got I got a new bike, which was actually really good, and it meant that I could cycle more on roads, which is a shit to commute, but it's quicker. So I was cycling up one of the major thoroughfares in Leicester, and head down, just in the zone, as it were. Which I mean, I was listening to Radio 5 Live's absolute wonderful sports chat show, Fighting Talk.
Oh, love that.
It's
so good.
Colin Murray, what a fucking legend.
It's a Saturday morning staple, really is.
Yep. The podcast, great. 15 extra minutes of content. You're welcome, BBC 5 Live, for the free advertising. And as I'm cycling along, I see this guy in front of me just put his hand out like that, like, yeah, go on. And in my head, he's going, go on. And I reached out, perfect high five. The noise with that perfect clap. And I was like, that was really lovely. That was absolutely. And I looked back, like, yeah, we got a bond. And I looked behind me, and the bus that I was behind slowed and stopped for him. and I kept cycling, sinking lower and lower, desperate for the world to swallow me whole.
Oh, the roller coaster of emotions. Like, this is the best point of my day to like, oh no.
Because imagine that guy when he gets home. Just, good day, love. Odd day.
There was this right dick on a bike.
Right? He slapped me. I was just like, telling the bus to stop, and he was like, no bus for you. I'm a cyclist. I am superior to bus. No, you may not. No.
No, that's for you.
You're talked about. This is the thing now. You are talk like there are moments where people are telling stories about people. Like they go, "Oh, there was a cyclist on the road today. You're cycling in the middle of." I've got a cyclist story.
Someday, right?
Even
Ron Weasley looking dickhead.
Even better, you're an opening on a dating app between two people because someone's put. What's your funniest transport story? And this guy just messaged another person going, you never guess what. People probably get married because of you, Adam Unwin.
I mean,
high five by Ron Weasley in Leicester on a bike.
Ron Weasley, and his back was covered in blood and Savlon.
There's people who can't watch Harry Potter because of you.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't stand Harry Potter. You know, like Ron Weasley, high five me in Leicester on a bike. What a
Could you imagine that? If what we've recently learnt about Joanne is the reason you can't watch Harry Potter is because of Ron Weasley? It's like, no, there's more pressing reasons why you couldn't watch it now, isn't there?
I'd also like to point out that this happened exactly 5 years ago today, according to Facebook Time Hop, which is why I remembered it. And at the time, I'll just read the messages because my family commented on it. We have all done that. ... Not. Thank you, Arthur. You witty man. My mother's comment. Only Adam.
Oh, that's such a mum comment.
Ugh.
And a friend of mine went, this should be a thing. I might just start holding my hand out a bus stop for cyclists, which is nice. And my brother piped in because he has to. For some reason, he's written this like he's Northern. Guy did this to me while jogging and said, keep up good work. I've just noticed a 5-year-old spelling mistake, which I will now reply and be like, you spelled jogging with an M rather than an N. So let me do that now. Jogging.
You know when you're a kid and you go around everywhere on a bike. Well, I was a kid and I went around everywhere on a bike.
No, but yeah.
Me and my mate are going around on our bike because we're kids and that's what you do. And there's a newspaper lad walking down the road delivering his newspapers, and he's took a paper out of his bag and he's reading it. And as my mate rides past on the bike, he just swipes the paper, and I swear to God, I do not know how I fucking rode away because I was dying with laughter. It was the funniest thing just to watch from a distance. My man just go past, and there was no indication he was going to do it. He was just. This kid was like, what?
I'm not coming out of my wages.
You made me remember of the because I had a paper round and it was very, very fun. But my dad, as I've mentioned many a time, is a local Conservative Party member. But it's not funny to bully me, whereas it's completely fine to bully Hannah. And during my round, he was like, I was like 14, it was my brother's round and I was helping. Can you put these leaflets out that are going round? Here's a list of addresses that we've canvassed previously and they're on the fence. So we're going to give them this leaflet just so they can go vote. And I'm like, voting is a good thing, regardless who for. At the time, I was like, I'm a communist, but no, whatever. And what I did by accident, I remembered about a week afterwards, because I lost the bit of paper that had all the addresses on it. And so made up which houses to give it to. But I realized a week afterwards how I lost the bit of paper. And what I'd done is on the very first house, I'd gone, right, this is the address, this is the leaflet.
Oh my God.
And so I posted to the first address every single local person's details.
Yeah, much.
And
I'm really hoping I really hope I cost someone an election. I really do.
Well, there is a data protection issue there, Adam.
Not back in 2007.
No,
so young.
A retro doxing, John is putting. You basically This appears to be a list of names and addresses of all the local members.
There was a spate of fire bombings. Can't be connected.
Is that? Are you done, Adam?
Fuck you, Dave. yeah, fuck it, I'm done.
Adam Unwin, ladies and gentlemen, he's fucking done.
Yay!
Finish his story with doxing Conservatives. Finally, Mike, I think you've got about 48 seconds left.
Lovely.
So, make it quick, mate. Mikey Sanders, ladies and gentlemen.
So, this story doesn't really have a structure, so I'm just going to say stuff. But
technically, that's what
do you
stories
remember? Do you remember my GCSE dance story?
Yes,
Started with me throwing beanbags in a hoop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we start in there, but we're veering off in a very different direction because this, like I say, would be a weekly thing, and it got around to sports day. I can't remember. I've tried to figure out what year it was. I can't remember, but it got around to sports day. And in all fairness, given them like both of my schools have been really on it in terms of access and stuff. So they were like, Mike, do you want to do something for like sports day? And like, now I've got to say, like, I love me sport, like, love watching it, but like, when it comes to like being competitive, I'm just not that arsed. In all honesty, like, it's just very, very stressful, like, generally, and it's weird sort of seeing like people like get so involved in like needing to like basically like people sort of shouting at me and like being really like it's a bit odd, but like I didn't feel like I could say no, so I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So there was one other kid in my school a couple of years below me in a wheelchair. So the plan was to put us pit us together in competition, where we would have like they would put hoops out in front of us and we'd
Robot
have
Wars.
oh my god! I'm so glad you went there.
Man!
Now you said that, this story's gonna be shit. Like, oh god, no. I'm trying to think what the name would be. So the plan was
Were you
on
Matilda?
sports.
She was my favourite.
I can't take it.
For some reason, I forgot that there was a robot called Matilda. I immediately went to the Roald Dahl Classic.
Did you use your mind powers to terrify an old woman?
I was properly struggling. So the plan was that they would put down like 4 sort of hoops, and sort of like we'd have like 10 bean bags each, and then like they sort of like made arbitrary points. Like so like the blue hoop was like 5 points, the yellow hoop was 10 points, and then if you could get it into the red hoop at the top, that was 20 points. I don't know who made this up, but like it's like it was like our TAs proper got into it. Like, it was.
Can you just say blue hoop again for me, please?
Blue hoop? What? Blue hoop.
It's beautiful. Carry on.
What I'm worried about here, Mike, what I'm worried about here is the school had some sort of illegal betting book going on this. That's why they were so into it.
Like...
The second thing, I always have a few problems with this. Right, we're so with it. We're so woke. We're all access. So we're going to put the 2 kids in wheelchairs together for our entertainment. Feels a bit
Competing
Let's
against
make the
each
guy
other.
with a lack of fine motor skills throw beanbags at things.
Also, though, like this isn't even like this is like before the turn of the millennium. So
The loser gets their benefits cut.
Yeah.
I mean, really, this is like this is quite
As long as
a
it's not
while
the
ago.
loser has to walk home, it's fine.
So from
That's worse than the joke I made,
Yeah,
Steph.
it was
That's
Steph.
so much worse.
oh, I love you.
My joke was you're a teacher. Sorry. You were a teacher.
Oh dear.
May I just ask the Jonty, clip that.
Oh, we're going to hell. We're all going to hell.
And send me to the Department for Education because I'm screwed.
It's fine. It's fine. You're not going to hell. I'm on first name terms.
Oh, it's all right. I prefer to go to hell at least. At least I don't have to pay for heating.
Yeah, and they got the best
Fair.
music.
We got the best songs yet.
See what you did there.
What was your opinion of this, Mike? Were you going along
Well,
with this, or were
Yeah.
were you offended?
No, I wasn't offended because I was like 9, 10 maybe. Like, and
He was
like,
well offended at that point.
You weren't offended, Mike, because you had got throwing beanbags into her down, and you knew you were going to win this mother.
We're like,
well,
I'm in.
like, and what happened? Like, so you know, like when sport, like in the sort of weeks leading up to sports day, sort of everyone uses their PE lesson to like practice, like running, or, like,
Practice the egg and spoon.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not an egg.
I love
It's
it if
just
the
like
egg and spoon was in the Olympics.
it's just a golf ball, and like that's not really wrong. So what happened was, we would I'd practice me sort of throwing action and people get really like into it. But also another weird thing, we practice together. Which is like,
Oh no!
Mind games.
well,
Mind games.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I like Jake, but like, you still sort of want to.
Did you downplay how good you were?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
really
no,
stuck
I
with you?
missed. Oh no.
Oh, I can't throw at all. I'm gonna take you out in the actual game.
You're at home in the garden, blow the beanbags like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing the Rocky theme tune to
Yeah.
yourself. Absolutely.
Just throw everything with my left hand and then until the day, and then oh god, he's really good. So like, it got to the actual day, and do you remember the morning of primary school sports days? They were everyone just loses their shit and sort of,
You were buzzing up your head.
yeah, and it's like the classroom becomes like this, becomes a changing room, and it's weird. And we had fields at the back of our school.
Adam looked
We would,
confused
like-
then. Did you not all get challenged in the same classroom?
Yeah, but that was every PE day, not just.
Yeah.
Not just.
Yeah, but
But
there
like
was like
morning-
this,
There was something
Yeah.
different on school sports
yeah, there was
day.
something in the air about.
I can't do
sports
English,
day.
Mrs. Payne. I'm a sports person now. I've got to concentrate. I've got to get in the zone. I don't need to be knowing about full stop.
But like, it wasn't just the sports people, was it? With everyone, it was like a free for all, even if you weren't sporty.
And the teachers
Like,
used to
there
come in
is-
tracksuits.
Oh,
Yeah.
just throw your mind. Your own real clothes. What's going on?
Yeah,
You
and,
own
like,
you own one blue shirt, the same trousers, and the same old shoes. That's it. And you
Yeah.
sleep in the school. You don't have a home.
Yeah,
I
he was on a par with
saw
someone who's outside.
Mr. Day in Asda, and he was wearing jeans.
Even now, when kids spot me, they go, "What are you doing here?" Like, it really freaks them
Like you
out.
don't exist outside.
Yeah. aren't you at school? Because it's a Sunday afternoon, you silly tit. And I don't want to be there either.
I saw two of my teachers together in a supermarket, and they had different names, so they can't have been husband and a wife, because that's not how it works. So what were you doing together in the shop, Miss Harding, Jackie, Mr. Pardon? What were you doing? Ah!
Why were you holding hands?
Ah! They weren't. What they did was they were sort of walking next to each other, and they saw the family, my family, and then they were other side of the aisles, and then they sort of gently drifted back together, and then they saw us going, like, oh no, we can't.
That's really cute, though. It's the little meeting of the trolleys.
It was adorable.
Stop chewing envelopes.
It's like every rom-com ever. So anyway, there were fields at the back of our school, and like you had to sort of like journey off like across the road to get to them. So like we would be escorted by, there'd be like 30 kids, or like, you know, even more so, because it's like the whole school, like escorted across the road by two really like stressed out teachers, because they were technically like in a public place, and that's all, like taking kids anywhere, I'm sure you know, Seth, as we've found out through many of your stories, is quite hectic. So like that was bad. And the even crazy thing was, when we got there, our parents were all sort of sat down ready to watch. So even then I was thinking, oh my God, it's like theatre.
Had the week before, had you seen the person going out and painting the lines? Because that,
that's I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Because you'd see the person go and mow it, and then afterwards, like a couple of days later, someone, when the grass had settled, like they'd go out and they'd paint the lines, and you'd be like, oh, it's got real.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm gonna have to do this now.
Yeah.
Unless it's the contractors who used to look after the parks when I did Sunday League football, who used to let the grass grow, put the lines on, and then cut the grass.
Council.
It wasn't council though. It was contractors for the council.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
They're not even council employees. They're like council agency.
Sorry, Mike. You were crossing the road.
It's all right. I'm just really glad I can start these sort of really niche conversations between
Mike,
people.
every one of your stories starts this. There was a 20-minute conversation about a carrot the other week.
I'm just the master of connection.
I love that.
And eventually, sports day begins in earnest. Now, me and Jake are sort of like quite close to the end of proceedings. So like we've got
headliners. You're like the 100-meter sprint at the Olympics.
Exactly.
Like an audience and everything. This is like...
the Usain Bolt of
I'm telling you, them teachers had a book. They were
Yeah.
The Usain Bolt of beanbags. That's genuinely going to be my next post.
You can go on your Tinder bio.
The Usain Bolt of beanbags.
Well, the Usain Bolt of beanbags.
So,
that's beautiful.
You get a first date out of me, Mike.
Swipe right.
The sports day is mental because it brings out, it's the parents in it. They go to, and it's not just it's the volunteers that like really get into it. Like they sort of hand out stickers, and like so it was our time, me and Jake's time, and I thought, right, I've got this, it's fine. And they sort of like, and I should also say at this point, we're still both in manual wheelchairs. So it's like we're really enthusiastic in full PE kit. Like this is like I'm literally a full kit wanker for the first time in my life. So we have to be pushed out by like two sort of assistants, but they push us out, but not quite far enough so that you could tell that we're like the sort of the main like event. So it's like you've got sort of like everyone's sort of in two parallel lines, and we're in the middle. But they're sort of like trying to, look around each other to make sure we could see. And like the headmistress steps out, and so it's like she's a hype master, like for the event. Like she's trying to
Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
Who's the Flavor Flav?
And this
You're ready for this?
He's got a school clock round their neck.
That's for timing.
This woman is a lovely woman with a perm. She's about 5'2". It's not what to say about a goose. It's not what's going on. And then, and you always get the sort of the parent that volunteers to sort of give the stickers out at the end. And so, like, she's there with us. And like the event starts, I'm throwing, and I don't even care like where I'm throwing at this point, because all I can see is that, like, all these kids are cheering for us, like they're proper going for it. And then this mom pops out of nowhere and starts screaming in my face, "Come on, you can do it!" And it's genuinely the scariest thing I've ever witnessed.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So, mum, it wasn't even your mum.
No, it was, but it was the sort of the mum that does it every year and really gets into the mums and dads race.
Lives vicariously through there, yeah.
Yeah, and I was asking mum about this early, and it turns out that this mum got really like into the mums and dads race to the point where she was like elbowing like all the parents out the way to win. And
oh God,
like,
I bet you drove a Volvo.
Yeah.
or a Skoda.
Yeah.
Called Karen.
And like everyone is trying to be nice because it's a primary school sports day. So like they give her this sticker, and it's really weird. But like I hate to end this story on a damp note, but I can't actually remember like which one of us wins. Like,
oh my!
I know it's really like, but let's
Hawk was the winner.
Well, I sort of feel like we've got at least a chapter in our own book on accessibility sport.
Yes.
Like, in the chapter, there's just a picture of just me and Jake looking a bit confused by the whole thing.
And a woman stood next to you like,
"Come on!"
Yeah. And that's not even the oddest sports day I've ever had. Because a few years later, when I got to secondary school, we had a thing because I was a lot more competitive, wasn't it? Because you had the sort of the genuinely sporty people go up for 100 meters, and we'd compete in forms, and there'd be a year league table. But there was also this thing called form captains. I don't know if you ever had them, but it's basically just for the people that weren't sort of very committed to it, and me. But I like to think, in the Ryder Cup, they always have like the non-playing captain who just sort of like hangs around the golf course with the earpiece in.
Oh, right.
Sure.
Yeah. So I sort of got really involved into this cheerleading thing. I was really serious about my role, except when it got to the morning, the TA who was with me sort of overtook the situation slightly, and then gradually I could, throughout the day, I sort of got sort of pushed to the background a little bit, because for some reason I can't remember why, but I had to hand out forms. But it was she was adamant that she wanted to do it, and I was a bit that was my job. So in the end, what I ended up doing was judging the years. I was the one who holds the flag during holds the flags during the year 7 long jump competition. Now, I don't know if you've ever held a flag during or been around during a year 7 long jump competition, but it's the funniest thing. It's just 11-year-olds falling on their faces, and and also I got burned because it was sun. Why sports days are always in July? It's beyond me. Have them in October or like September when it's like it's sort of like nice enough for the weather to be like nice, but you're not gonna sort of get heat stroke either. Yeah. And then oh god, like you can probably now tell this story has no structure whatsoever. I'm just sort of waffling. And
I once lost in like year 2, maybe year 1. I lost. I was miles ahead. I'm a fucking athletic bitch, and I lost it because I about halfway through stopped to wave at my mum who was taking a photo.
Oh.
And my mum has this photo of me going like, as all these kids just racing past her. Hi, Mum. Are you proud of me? I was winning.
It's like one of those photos you buy after you've been on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
He was 28 at the time. He's a fucking idiot.
So
not my joke.
That's the future.
Not my joke.
That's sort of the sports day section out of the way.
So we've done GCSE dance. We've done sports day.
Yeah. And then
done the school disco.
Done the school.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. School disco.
Yeah. So I like if you want to regress, I'm obviously
You are, man.
And then during a sport, I think during a PE lesson one time, I don't know who brought it in, but somebody brought in table cricket. Now, if someone would like to Google table cricket, maybe that's what you need.
I'm allergic to table cricket.
So is this like Sabutio but cricket?
Well, I know, like, not to be confused with tabletop cricket, which is where you've got like your you've got like little figurines with ball bearings.
When I was a kid, I had tabletop horse racing.
So you just press the buttons.
Oh, right, and they go down the little thing.
No, it wasn't that complicated, Adam. It was called Escalado. Google Escalado.
I know Escalado.
I had that.
Yeah, I think everybody had that. It was a strip of fabric that you used to tie to one end of the table, and you tie to the other end, and you turn this crank, and the piece of cloth would do that on the table.
It
looks great.
And the horses would travel along, and you'd bet on the horses.
Was it the Maurice Minor of this tabletop game in the world?
He was used that sort of
brilliant.
And
everyone table cricket. Sorry, carry on.
Everyone had an Escalado horse where one of the legs was broke. That's it.
And it had little the jumps on it, which every single horse got fucked on.
yeah.
Is that it? Played on like a ping pong table?
Yeah, that's exactly what you need. What you need.
That's on Cerebral Palsy Sport.
Yeah, what you need for table cricket is
Cerebral Palsy Sport.
Yeah, it's a new channel. It's like BT Sport 3.
Stop it, Adam. They've got tabletop cricket.
The bats are all there like little bats.
Frame football.
Yeah.
It's football when you run around on a frame. Sorry, that was far more self-explanatory than I gave it credit for.
Oh my god, the tiny cricket bats are so great.
Yeah. So, like the weird thing about table cricket is that like it's just basically played on a table tennis table, and you have to like set up what would be the boundary. That's like a plastic wall, and then around these plastic walls, you've got like your fielders that are basically sort of like pictures of people printed onto plastic that you could sort of stand up and move around, like, so it's sort of like cricket, but it really isn't. And then so like one person stands at the one end with the ball, and then the other person stands at the other end with the bat. But there's a little ramp. Like, can you see? Is there like a little ramp?
And you just like roll the ball down the ramp.
You roll the ball down the ramp. But this is the one thing that's quite good about it, is that the ball has a weight in it. So as it goes down the ramp, it will sort of swerve, and you have to judge which, way it's. Oh my God! It's like I'm telling this story to me now.
So it's a bit like Space Invaders, and you have to hit the thing back.
Well, yeah, but it's like, but at the same time, like it's quite a slow game, because it's like, and it's like even I can do it with my lack of fine motor skills. And
there's another picture with all the fielders as well, so you can see that they've got their little cards. That's quality, that is.
Yeah, and then if you
it's proper quality.
And then if you hit the ball straight to the fence, it's a 6. But if you hit it directly to the fielders, you're out. But if it hits, I think if it hits in between the legs, which is obviously a theme on this podcast, then it's full. So, but like, because it's so slow, there was just me and my TA at the time, sort of playing it alone in the gym during a double PE session on Tuesday, and it was sort of very difficult to whip up enthusiasm.
I can imagine that at some point the TA goes, "Are you having fun, Mike?" And you go, "I'm just thinking back to the beanbags, miss."
Nothing will ever compare to that adrenaline rush.
I also like the idea that after you left primary school, the other kid in the wheelchair was like, "I'm the fucking Don now. I'm the Don now." And then at the next school sports day, this kid's like, "Oh, I fucking got this, haven't I?" And then they say, "Right, now we're going to do the beanbag," and the kid's like, "Fucking here!" And then all of a sudden you hear like, dun, 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 and you come into the park in your wheelchair, going, "I'm back for more, bitch."
It's like Anchorman where they have that fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there was one other sport we played, was a thing called boccia. Now, boccia, BOCCA, I think is how it's spelled. Or it might actually be BOCIA, not sure. But boccia is an Olympic sport, and it's basically, imagine bowls mixed with 10-pin bowling. Because you have a ramp, and there's a jack, and you have to you're one corner and your opponent's another.
BOCCE.
Oh really? Oh wow, I was really wrong.
No, I've got BOCCIA.
Oh, I don't know then, because I've got.
John is in the chat saying BOCCHE for another spelling variation.
Oh, this one is a precision ball sport similar to boccia, the way Dave spelt it, and related to bowls and
bulls.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
I'm on Wikipedia, so how true it is, I don't know.
Yeah. So I played it with a mate of mine, and this is where it gets really weird. We were in a corridor. We were in the PE corridor, I've no idea. There must have been. There can't have been much room. Like, or everywhere else must have been taken.
Depends on the size of the corridor.
Yeah, I don't. But it was like only like quite thin. It was like there was no space at all. It's like I don't know what we were in there. But bocce is amazing because when you watch it at the Paralympics, that you can like use your hands. If you've not got use your hands, people do it with their mouths, and like people can get assistance from on it. You should YouTube it. Like, it's
cool,
genuinely it's properly interesting. And my last sport that I tried that actually isn't an accessible sort of version of the sport, but I discovered that I could hit a shuttlecock quite well during in badminton. I know. I suppose because like the shuttlecock is weighted, so it always sort of ends up in the same position. It sort of gave me a sort of a focus to sort of focus. So like I must have looked ridiculous because it's like, you know, my eyes get cross-eyed as I'm focused on the end of the shuttlecock. And like me and my TA did this quite regularly, sort of over weeks, and then we realised that you can't play badminton without a net. But the only thing we had that was sort of would act as a net for what we were doing. You know those sort of boards that fold out you have during parents' evening. So, sort of you put stuff on.
Yeah.
You put one of those lengthways in the hall and used it to play badminton for like weeks on end during PE. And genuinely, it's one of the best memories I've ever had. Yeah, that's my story that really did have much structure to it. But I promise to work a bit harder in a couple of weeks.
Mikey Souther, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you dare work harder, Mike.
Never change.
Never change. Right. Next week. You tell them, Steph. Go on. You tell them. Go on. Tell them, Steph.
Come in front of the class.
Go
Stephanie,
on.
step in front of the class. Tell everybody.
I'm on my hollybobs.
She's on her hollybobs.
She's on her holiday.
On a Tuesday.
Right, okay. Be a dick about it now. We're taking your dad away for his birthday.
Aww. No, you said we could be a dick about it, so I shall. How dare you? Good day, sir. I said good day.
Please bring us back some rock.
I will totally bring you all back some rock.
Oh my god, please can you?
Yes. We're going to take a week off.
Because you can't cope without me.
For the first time in June, we're having a week off.
That's what I'm taking from it. You can't be there, you're not going to do it.
Hang on, I'm having connection problems. Connection problems. We're back. Right. Yes. So...
You are the gaffer tape of this podcast.
The mere mention of my not being here and the internet went, no.
So,
draw the curtain.
We're taking next week off. We're not all going on holiday. It's only one of us is going on holiday, and we're not bitter about that at all. There's a chance, of course, Boris will lock the country down on Friday.
Paid for a catering. And for vaccinations for them.
Yeah, so we're you got to vaccinate your pets before you get to Bournemouth. So we're going to take next week off, and then the week after we're going to come back with the lock-in version, and we're going to do ghost stories.
Because
it's by Halloween. So Adam's never seen a ghost, so he's got 2 weeks.
2 weeks running round.
We'll hang out in the cellar at my house.
In this town, we go home. Everyone
in love with the pumpkin song.
If it's ghost stories, then I might have to work really fucking hard
to get haunted between now and
I've got no idea.
I might tell like I might tell a ghost story that's not like a story that happened to me. I might tell a scary story.
I'm going to tell you all about my haunted work.
I fear that at some point in the next 2 weeks, one of us is going to be in a police station saying, the reason I was standing on a grave with a Ouija board is because I've got to do a podcast next week.
Say one of us, Dave. I think we all know who you mean. Okay. Who is the only person who has physically been to a graveyard on this podcast before?
And even then, you were geocaching now.
Yeah. Even then, you was geocaching. That's a waste of time. So that's what we're doing. So there you go.
Another question before we stop. Can you dress up as a ghost? Does that count?
Can we do Halloween dress up?
Oh my god!
Fancy dress!
Oh my god! I'm so excited!
Fancy dress! We are doing fancy dress Halloween in a fortnight.
Stories!
Right, we need to do something.
Stories from the spooky room.
Right, when we start, no one can see what our costumes are. We're going to have to reveal it. I'm having connection issues
Oh,
again.
God.
So, let's end it there, because it's all going wrong.
I'm so against this plan.
2 weeks' time.
Me too.
Halloween, in costume. Let's do it.
I'd like it now. I'd like to make it known on public record that I did not want to start a movement. I wanted you to laugh and go, imagine Mike as a ghost.
Mikey, come dressed as a killer lot.
Yes.
No, because then I'd need like the full length camera, and I can't be bothered.
Camera?
Just a cardboard box and jazz
an
it up.
axe behind you.
No, Sakilla didn't have an axe. Sakilla lot had the lance and the pincers. God, Hannah, it's like you weren't a 12-year-old boy in 2009.
No, I was like at uni or something then. Like,
especially as the second series. Second series was 1999. I'm trying to remember when it was. The winners were Roadblock, Panic Attack, Chaos 2. Who won Series 5? Stinger.
Is that one with like the ginger, the like short-haired ginger and the kids?
You should not know this was
a
robot.
Is anyone alone in thinking this is the saddest thing they've ever seen?
Yes.
Razor, Tornado,
Right.
Film 2.
Hold on, because Adam's caught himself in a loop.
The Adam's single?
I know. What am I doing wrong?
2 weeks' time, Halloween,
the runners-up,
fancy dress. Everyone say goodbye to the YouTubes. Bye, YouTubes.
Goodbye.